First, we are recording Zoom, so remember to say your name. And when we vote, we need to indicate the vote specifically the person, so everybody knows you voted what. No, I think one time.
The one time at the beginning, you're supposed to say who you are.
So should we just go through it right now?
Yeah, it helps. Well, Cindy, it's mostly so Cindy can write it down. So
Okay.
well, I'm doing it, so.
Oh, you're doing it tonight?
Yes.
I thought it was.
You're recording? Okay.
Never mind.
And Jackson. Okay, we're gonna review the minutes. I have one change in the third paragraph. The next to the last sentence, it says the markers will contain GPS coordinates. I'm going to ask for that to be changed to the markers will have GPS coordinates indicated on the plan.
Well, on the second item, it doesn't say what it is. Discussion regarding assigning CR, it doesn't. I mean, just reading.
Oh, for Chapin Road.
Yeah, it doesn't say
For the
anything.
Yes, for the Audubon part of it.
Yeah, it doesn't, there's no, if somebody had to look at this, I looked at it, I was trying to figure, what were we discussing? It doesn't say.
It's called the Splendid Chapin Road CR. Away of that. That would be easy.
Tom is on, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah. We should announce that Tom is on remotely.
Yes,
For the record, Tom is on remotely.
Tom, did you have any changes to the minutes?
You may not see him.
He's muted.
I don't have a copy of the minutes.
No, I didn't.
He doesn't have a copy of the minute.
Okay, then he's not gonna get this one. I sent him one of these, and sent him one of them. Any changes or adjustments?
I make a motion to accept the minutes as noted with the noted changes for the minutes for, where are we? July 19th.
All those in favor?
All right, well, we'll say, second date. I don't know.
It's not
Oh,
working, I
so-
don't think.
No, it's not. I just want to try this right now.
No, they won't, so they won't be able to hear them,
No, they can hear him with the new speakers.
huh?
So if it's red, it's muted, right?
I don't know. I don't know.
It seems to go on and on.
Tom, are you able to hear everyone?
Yeah, some people aren't speaking quite loud enough, but I can hear pretty good.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
But we still have the problem. Our system's not broadcasting to the room. It's only coming out on the laptop.
That's strange. Okay. We're going to open the hearing for the RDA for Scantic Valley Water System Improvement and Bowling Program. And yeah. Can you get that over to him?
Oh, man, sure.
And the extra certification. Or did you copy it already? No, I did, Andrew, no, you did that one.
No, I did pass one down. Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
They don't have it on folder.
Okay,
You have one on
oh,
your
everybody
folder?
got one? Good,
Yeah. Very happy with it.
all right.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, you want to explain the project?
Sure. Pete Polinsky with Ty and Bond. Jen Gilbert submitted this application. She's been working with the town and with the Scannick Valley Water on this project. We're looking at expanding the water system to include another.
You can pull a chair over if you want to.
That's my name.
It's
Yeah,
hard
you
to
have to
hear
pull
from
it.
over there.
So we're looking to expand the system by passing by some more of the folks that are impacted by the PFAS contamination. So as part of this project, and this RDA is intended to address just one thing, basically doing the geotechnical exploration. Most of the drilling is going to be on the roadway, not so much an issue. But there are two borings that are expected over by the well house. They're going to be on the property where we have the well house already. Sort of sitting there on the dry side of the access road. There's some wetlands about 100 feet away. And so that's kind of what puts it up there. I understand that while this is ordinarily exempt type of activity, and I know that there's some bylaws here in Hampton that does require it to come before you, the board, so that's
Yes,
why we're here.
Yeah.
our exception bylaws don't specify, anything that covers this particular sort of thing, so we have to make a case by case decision.
So the expectations, we're gonna be back for your board as well, when we actually complete the design for a building upgrade.
Yeah,
So there will be a building designed at that site of the well house. Basically provide additional storage primarily. Actually, for the most part, it's because the facility is at 25 years old. Some of the stuff is outdated and worn out.
so it's a slightly bigger house and then
It
it's
is.
the boring.
So that's what ultimately is gonna be there, but what we need for the design is to do some geotechnical drawings. We're gonna be putting in a foundation and a wood frame structure to house some water tanks.
Is there a foundation under the existing one?
Under the existing one there is a foundation, it's where the hydromatic tank is currently located, so there's a tank under there.
Now, is the well outside the building?
There are two wells, and the two wells are outside the building.
So the building is just
building's not
holding
real-
equipment. It's
Yeah.
the well is not inside it.
Correct.
So you're gonna, so what you're doing, putting up a new building is not gonna affect the wells. You're gonna have to maybe move some pipes or
Existing
something.
wells are gonna stay where they are. What's inside the structure right now is a standby power, and there is a water storage tank in the, I'm gonna call it the basement, but basically in the bowels of the building. Is a very hydromatic. That's what's gonna go away.
On one.
Yeah, it's been operational issues associated with it, and it's aged and
So
so
the tank's going in the ground there? or-
they're gonna be above ground tanks, so it's gonna be well pumped to these storage tanks and then pumped into the system with a constant pressure pumping system.
Are they replacing the piping or anything from there out?
The piping right now does pass through the existing building. So it will have to be redirected, but there's gonna be some,
Oh, I was wondering about the piping from there to the street. Yeah.
no, the line, well, you're gonna be basically cutting into the existing line and redirecting it through the new building. So yes, there'll be some work in that access drive.
Yeah, no, I was wondering,
But not all the
I
way.
was wondering if the capacity. would be-
Yeah, that's my question, was capacity.
No,
too.
This system doesn't provide fire protection. It's a 4-inch water main, very limited capacity. It'll serve more than adequately for the number of houses that we're dealing with. And then, of course, the water main is being expanded, that will be on the piping along those roads.
Yeah, no,
Right.
no, I figured that, I just wasn't sure from the pump house to where you're gonna expand, if that needs to be.
No, it doesn't.
I'm surprised because this is the second expansion now. We
Yeah.
added all of Main Street a couple of years ago. Now we're adding a third section.
Yeah, again, all you
And the
provide-
piping is still sufficient.
yeah, all you provide is domestic flows at this point. You know, you would have, if you were to provide fire protection, yes, those pipes would have to get larger. The wells aren't large enough to do that.
And we're not drilling any more wells, like, to do that there,
That's all it says, yeah. That's it.
What do we have there for wells? Just as a
You
curiosity.
get two 1/2 horsepower pumps, basically you get two residential style wells. They're a little larger, but not much different than what you'd have in your house.
And that's enough for all the houses there?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Amazing, huh?
There's plenty of water in that area.
Okay.
You know, there's water right outside the building.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I assume your wellheads are down like.
They're down.
Yes.
I don't know the exact depth, but I think they're just basically 6-inch wells going.
Oh,
Does anybody on Zoom have any questions?
No, I don't.
Yes. Go ahead.
What's the reason for the expansion?
Well, the reason for the expansion is to address the customers with PFAS contamination.
So you're extending, according to the map, 500 feet from the junction of the South Munson Road and Stanley? Are the yellow dots wells?
No, that's just the borings. This particular part of the project, all they're doing is doing borings to figure out the soil quality and stuff.
Yeah, right now it's.
And they're like little 6-inch,
Yeah, right.
but eventually, yeah.
But I was just wondering why are we extending the I think it's 500 feet of South Munson Road?
there must be a house there that's going to be serviced eventually.
Well, that's my question, because I live right in that area.
Do you have the problem?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I own the property that is going across.
Hmm.
Now, I don't know if Bonnie was saying it's probably gonna be street, I would assume.
Yeah, it's either gonna, in some
What's your
places, it
address?
will be on the,
I understand. But I own the property in South Munson Road.
So, but property, what property are you, your question, you have a question? Sure. You're
go
okay with
ahead,
that?
take a seat in the chair.
Go on, it's map. This property right here, this is new. Yeah.
Do you have a house there or you just own blank land?
Yes.
Okay, well, you said Scranton, so,
Yeah, my address is on Scanning, but I have land on South Munson from the bottom of the hill all the
Yeah,
way
it
to the
was,
top.
oh, okay.
a bunch of them go over
But they were testing, I assume they must have tested you. If you're in that
I
area.
never had a test, and that's what is, I'm wondering now, hearing this. You know,
There's tests for all these that are probably in boxes right here.
the boxes are test board?
You know, I'm saying that these homes that are boxed,
Yeah, okay.
are those that are probably tested.
If you're worried about it, you should talk to,
You should talk to John Plaster,
the what?
John Plaster, the water.
Or you could just go to Hobie or Jane.
I
and
saw
ask.
over here today. I
Okay.
didn't know anything about it.
See Jane then, in the health department,
Okay,
right at the bottom of the stairs?
Yeah.
Opposite the selectman's office.
okay.
And just ask her, you know, if
Tell her your
you needed
concerns.
it, what was done, whatever.
And this loop is expanded a little beyond where the needs are. Part of it is to provide a continuous loop of piping, rather than always dead ends.
Yeah.
There are dead ends in the system.
So if some of these people have the problem right in here,
I don't have the test location. Okay.
Yeah, that's not stuff we know.
Yeah, that's not what we know, yeah.
you know, well, I'm coming into this hole, I'm just
Yeah.
trying to,
Yeah,
I live there, so I wanna know.
Yeah.
What's going on.
I would expect that Jane.
I
should
didn't
be
get
able to
any
tell them.
notifications from anybody to say, you wanna test too, or, I mean, I had no doubt that there's no problem. But now seeing this, I'm saying to
Yeah.
myself, what
Well,
is happening?
we're expanding the system out that far. Yeah, it'd be worth looking at what we have for data.
Okay, so who am I gonna see now?
Jane,
Jane in the health department,
Invoice?
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the health
She-
department.
She's here.
Monday to Thursday. We open 9.
9 o'clock.
She's here at 7:30.
Yeah, she comes in early.
The door unlocked, so,
Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't know what time she's here now, so
yeah.
Oh,
not 9 though, so I didn't.
Oh, it's unlocked. Okay.
Sorry, I don't know, they are all. 129. Scanpik Road. Right, phone number, 413-427-8357.
And the property is not the one, it is the one on 1.9.
Well, I don't know which one of these parcels is me, but
It's doing this. Yeah, it's another 1.9. Is it up a corner?
no.
Number.
We could look them up on the GIF.
What's the price on the people? What is that? Is that?
That's just like that, like you up there.
So from dock to dock?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Right. So across me by, the corner guy has about 300.
Yeah, you can see pretty well with the house.
Yeah, yeah,
Drive up.
yeah.
There.
So to answer your other question, all the borings are either gonna be in the road or right next to the road in the right of way, which is like 10 feet.
Yeah,
Nothing will be any farther.
now with the
other
piping
than that.
being there too, though. The actual piping.
Piping, we did going down Main Street was partially in and out.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, you try to avoid as much pavement as you can.
right,
There's
right,
A nice
right,
long area on the side.
yeah, because there is a brook there. I don't know how far that's going on.
Yeah, going under the brook would be a big deal.
Yeah.
What's your address, sir?
I'm sorry?
What's your address?
My address, I live on Scannick,
That would be
129.
in the-
129?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would come as a
But
separate.
the address in question,
separate-
Munson, South Munson,
Well, there's no numbers, but number 15 would maybe be the first one, 'cause that's the, no, wait a minute, that's the even side. So when you.
So, as Pete was saying, the Wetland Protection Act and NISA essentially exempt this, at least this part of the project. But under our town, our municipal bylaws, we have to make a separate decision, so, I'm proposing that we, make a negative determination 2 and 3 for Hampden municipal bylaws. Somebody could read those, it's on your paper. And number 5, for the Wetland Protection Act. I have proposed, special conditions, which are, pretty standard things, just to make sure that dirt doesn't move around and that sort of stuff. I think they would be almost the same for the next project, except, we usually add more dirt control measures. We've had a lot of trouble with these huge storms with dirt washing away from the project, in not good places, so we're being a little more strict about that, but otherwise, probably wouldn't change things. We want to read it out loud?
Mine only starts at 7.
Yeah,
Mine
it's
doesn't
just-
There's, they're not here, Bonnie, you made a, you want to read every condition? Is that what you want?
No, just read that.
Just read this?
Mhm.
Oh, you don't want the condition?
Everybody's got a copy.
Okay. The Hampden Conservation Commission makes a negative determination, number 2 and number 3, Hampden municipal bylaws with the conditions below, and number 5, Mass WPA for this project. The work described in the request is within the, an area subject to protection under the act, but will not remove, dredge, fill, or alter the area. Therefore, said work does not require the filing of a notice of intent. 3, the work described in the request is within the buffer zone as defined in the regulations, but will not alter an area subject to the protection under the act. Therefore, said work does not require the notice of a filing of intent following, subject to the following conditions. Number 5, the area described in the request is subject to protection under the act. Since the work described herein meets the requirements of the following exceptions as specified in the act and in the regulations, no notice of intent is required. And then there are 12 special conditions.
Which are pretty much our standard one. Specifying that the delineations are estimated. That, we're basing our exemption for the NISA from the exemption on the last one, which basically said there was gonna be no take, it's all within the same areas, even though it's a little farther down the road. That in any case, still no work should take place closer than 25 feet to the wetland boundaries, except where specifically marked. No stump removal shall be permitted without special permission, sediment and erosion controls as usual. All best management practices for erosion barriers and weekly checks. The applicant must obtain approval of the barriers 48 hours prior to commencement as usual. Commission members must be allowed on the site as necessary. The same request we used with the water system here, that they be extra careful about the larger legacy size trees. I'm not sure if they're already in this section, but it's good to note them. Soil stored on site must be outside the jurisdictional areas. In this particular case, my understanding is that the soil will be very small pile that'll mostly be put back in the hole. Okay. If anything changes or there's any issues, they have to send us a report and they'll let us know when it's completed. Any changes, additions?
You know, what, 4 and 4 or something? Yeah.
6.
I think it's 2.5 boards. These are just
No, 6.
this
It
is the
says
regular
6.
drill that you go down, grab the soil.
Yeah.
How far down is it go?
The ones in the roadway are just simply going down and looking for rock and such, so you're only going down 8 or so feet. The ones at the building will go deeper. I don't know what the number is exactly, but 30 or so feet.
Saying this work is not going to alter any area subject to protection under the wetland act.
Right. It's only in the road, in the temple right of way, and in the unpaved driveway up to the building and a little bit to the right of the building. In there, it's already landscaped, it's grass, so it would be exempted from wetland protection.
From what I see, they were grinding the road down, and you go to the road, it's cause more problems than.
Yeah, it does cross through some buffer areas and all of that when you get up near the wetlands, but it's the same areas we approved in the last extension.
I like this one better than having them go dig it and find out that it's a bunch of rock and everything to it.
Yeah, exactly. And then there will be a whole separate application for the actual digging and water line.
Okay.
It's just boring.
Just boring. Okay.
Okay,
Also, there's some natural heritage, David speaking story about, right, based on letters.
Right.
Yeah, it's all on the road, it's all on the roadway, so it's not that bad.
Well, other than that, the pump house.
yeah, it does go through some properties that have natural heritage, but last time they did a NISA check and they just said no take because it's all in the roadway in the right of way. So they would say the same thing that we did.
Pictures that they had here, it's all mowed area anyways.
Yeah.
We're cutting
Yeah,
woods down and banking or anything.
yeah, they would exempt them. They would just get $300 more for another application.
Obviously, we're gonna dig a foundation when the building goes.
Yeah, but that will
Yeah.
be on the second, well,
Second.
that's not on
That'll
for us.
be the other one, right?
Yeah.
It's already disturbed area.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go. And still good enough allowing someone to build a shed.
Yeah.
Or farm or
Exactly.
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
but they still do have to make the
Yeah,
application
yeah.
for the fences and stuff.
So I'll second it. That was Andrew.
All those in favor? Tom?
Aye.
That's universal, it's unanimous vote, in favor. So it's approved. Anything else anybody wants to say? Anybody online want to say anything? Okay, well, close the hearing.
I'll make a motion to close the hearing.
I'll second it.
On favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Thank you very much. No?
And
Thank
Tom,
you.
Tom says aye.
Hopefully didn't drive too far.
And let us know if you have more questions. You can call Bonnie.
Oh, yeah, well, I'll go in and see,
Jane,
Jane. I know her.
Yeah.
I know who she is.
Yeah.
And you said you're not here on Friday.
right, most, no, one- if anybody's here on Friday, the doors are generally locked, so if
Tomorrow, yeah. I know.
you have to see her tomorrow, or you gotta wait until Monday.
I don't think it's Saturday, but I just wanted to find out where this is going.
Yeah.
And I did go up there. I'm on this side.
Yeah, you're one house on Scantic, you're one house off on Scantic, but I don't know where your property goes.
That's a-
This is more like.
Is there anything else on the?
I don't know, I don't know.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Okay,
There's a clear, so
you're, I'm right here. Not there. Okay, yeah, Panic and stuff.
You're the one house off.
No, my property line is there, and it follows the brook.
Yeah.
Down all the way up to. the top and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
No one's ever come
in there.
ask you about your well water?
That's what I really question. I'm not trying to stop
We know, I
project
mean,
or anything like that. I just want to know.
They may have thought you were too far away, but
Well, that was my thought, and I did until I saw this 500.
I think maybe they just sampled around too, because we're way over on Wilbraham Road and we got a thing.
I got
so
sampled and I'm on session,
Sampled if you want.
Did they sample?
on sessions, yeah.
No, I mean, in my area.
Oh, yeah, they were running samples, yeah.
So if something. had-
That's how they found the
I think
problem.
they just
Right,
picked
so-
random places and,
So if they had found something, I certainly would have
You
gotten.
got the front
notification,
back here, right?
Yeah.
yes.
Well, but they have to, you would know if they sampled your water, they would go in your house.
Yeah, no, they never came.
No,
to my house.
no.
I didn't know if they did borings or what.
No, 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 no,
They
no.
send you a little thing and you just take the water sample
Yeah.
essentially.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you. And if you wait, we'll hand
Bye,
it to
Bonnie.
you.
See you, Paul.
Wait, we'll give you the paper.
You're gonna give it to me now?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you can walk away with it in a few minutes.
Bonnie, you need this?
No, you
Okay.
can keep it.
Okay.
Did you get the other one too?
No, I have the one I brought. That was the one I got in the mail.
Oh,
This
how about
is-
this?
this is-
Well, somebody might come in for that one, but here's the brief description.
I think they're planning on drilling them, not next week, but the week after.
Week after.
Yeah, this was good.
Oh,
Oh,
you did,
yeah, great, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, have a good night.
Good night, sir.
thank you.
I'm not sure they knew they were gonna have approved tonight, that they would have drilled next week. You know, I mean, schedule these drills, they don't want
Yeah,
to be put off either.
well, if
It's-
there's a lot of changes, then we end up having to retype it and
Right.
everything, but she usually.
And if it's complex, I mean, this is more formality than,
This one,
I think it's better.
Excellent.
you know, it's,
straightforward.
Okay, we're expecting Jack Cooper in here at some point. He has to get a new set of signatures on something else.
Bonnie.
Yeah, we're still doing signatures.
Here.
We had an inquiry on 24 Ridge Road, actually a couple, I guess. It's for sale and, most people are dropping it. That's where the house is switched onto that very tiny triangle property.
At the very beginning of Ridge Road.
Yeah, it's right there on the right side.
Come down,
Not
come
out there where they.
Yeah,
Drilled the whole,
We
and when
spent a
you
lot
look
of
at
time
it,
out
it
there.
looks big, but the whole parcel to the left is all under CR. So it's just from the stream over, and it's pretty tight in there, so when anybody else ends up building up. The trophy house. it is
Two
gonna
places,
go.
right?
Yeah.
Bonnie?
Yeah.
Just two.
Just so that you know that, but it's kind of active on the market right now. And I got a request, from Mark Stinson that we review the parcel behind 37 Allen. When he was looking at the 37 Allen property for the, that we reviewed for the tree cutting.
Bar out there?
Yeah,
Okay.
but on the back of it, it goes from the back of it all the way to Commercial Drive, so it's a Commercial Drive address. It's been there a long time, it used to belong to Nick Turnberg, and now it belongs to Lepardo. And he's asked us to review it because he said there are things parked in the wetlands,
Wow,
the pond was
very
drowned,
efficient, thank you.
several other issues.
Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you, you said, well,
Good night,
So,
sir.
but I thought we could only get on the land
we have to
if
get
someone
them-
left rights. I can tell you from going on, was it 37 Allen, you could not see anything from the edge where we were.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't see anything
So-
other than there was.
And I've actually driven down commercial
You can't
and
see-
tried to see, and you can't see
I
it.
don't
It's
see
it.
just too
I know
far.
you can't see
It's all
that.
behind.
So I don't know how we would
Now-
have
now
any
is that-
jurisdiction to go. I don't know what.
Now,
we
is that
do.
that original?
No, you don't have to have jurisdiction to go. Technically, you can go onto any property that you have a complaint on.
I thought we tried to do that with the one on
Yeah, I
Potash.
thought it was more difficult, but when Eric was reviewing the, town bylaws, they discovered, a part that says any agent of the conservation commission can go where they have to go to see. I don't want to try and test that.
I was gonna say, the way
My
it's decided
suggestion-
today,
Yeah,
My suggestion was going to be that, I write a letter
Yeah.
and Bonnie, can send it, that would say, you know, there's some issues on this property, specifically the things parked in the wetlands and the pond, and ask if we can make a visit, and ask, even if we don't make a visit, if they please would move those things out of the wetlands and see what.
how far is the pond back in the way
from which road?
from commercial drive?
From Commercial Drive,
Gotta be 500 feet.
yeah,
600?
probably,
That's a long lead road. That piece of property is in action back of a couple others on.
I'm just,
So
I'm
it's
just-
like
I'm just saying,
it's piecemeal in the back.
I'm not saying about any businesses, but I know when you drive down, there's a little apartment cul-de-sac.
Yeah,
Just before you got the building there,
mhm.
I think it's an insulation building. You've got the building before that, which I think is a storage building with
Right.
dumpsters or something there.
there's,
But in between there, you can see going to the back.
there's a,
Are they talking about, there's a bunch of trucks parked.
yeah,
It's a
it's that
long-
road. It's that business in
You
the
know
back.
who owns that?
Okay.
Well, it's
But-
city owners.
Huh?
But the trucks that are, but the trucks
That's
that,
the water part of it.
but the trucks that are parked back there
I mean, it's a deal.
is, different business.
What is that? This is the real deal.
No, I,
Or the powder for us. No. That's-
Hmm.
It is-
I don't know who's back there.
Anyway, or how do you think we should deal with that? Because we've been asked.
I think
we
the
have a
letters-
complaint on it.
Try the letter.
So.
Well, now who, we were informed by Mark
Mark.
at DEP, so you can put that in the
That's
in the
what I'm
letter
saying.
that,
I would
Mark-
just make the letter that the DP has informed us
yeah,
from their.
I would put that
from
in.
Their aerial overviews that you have trucks that are parked,
Mhm.
it looks like within the wetland areas as well as the pond is whatever.
And we
it
have
says.
concern of the
The
pond.
pond is changing color. Our concerns are, you know, that you are within that. We'd like to have you come and meet with us to clarify and possibly have to move the vehicles. Make it, you know, as friendly as possible, so hopefully they come
Yeah,
say and say, hey, we don't wanna be in any more trouble than anyone else. We just need to follow the rules like the rest of us. Are you
Yeah.
able to move the trucks? Blah, 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 number of feet.
I can do that.
And we'll take a look at it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I would say DEP, that would get rid of.
If we don't make
Yeah,
any headway.
so, yeah,
then,
as soon as
you
you say DEP, hopefully they are, because after that, just like we did in Potash, and we have to wait till the DEP finally sends a letter. Not let that go on.
Did they
Yeah.
ever do anything out by that?
Oh, yeah, it changed all the numbers of rules they have.
No,
No,
the other one where they cut all the trees down.
Oh,
did they ever,
Remember we
last
sent
time
the-
I
remember
went
we
by
sent the
there, he
letter,
never
the guy
did
never answered
anything.
The door, never spoke to the
Yeah.
police or anything, and so we all agreed, we're not gonna go be confrontation with anybody.
oh, yeah, they actually went to court.
With who?
With who? The DEP?
Yeah, with the DEP.
Oh, so the DEP.
Oh,
finally
somebody did
stepped-
step in?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, well, see, I never knew that.
I never did that either.
Yeah, they,
Because we were trying to get a, we were,
if it goes to regional, sometimes regional tells us, but otherwise it doesn't.
But that was like, what,
That was
three
three-
or four houses before the end of the street?
Yeah.
Something like that?
and it's been a few years.
Yeah,
But the last time I drove up there, nothing was going on.
I don't think it was in court for a long time, but it did go to court.
Oh, really?
So the DEP did that.
Yeah,
Exactly. Well, that's what we said.
Yeah.
We tried to help them.
okay. So I see that Jack is here. Do you want to come and present your?
I just have a few simple things. Now. So I have a question, and I just have one thing that I need signatures for. I have this thing that my troop provided me to give to you, which is a navigate Girl Scout project. I only have one copy, but it's simple, it's only read, it's only 2 pages. It just explains what the Girl Scout project is. And I have a sheet that I need a signature for that says, you're okay with me moving forward in the stage of my project to the stage it currently is. So that's relatively simple. That's the project benefit area section. That just says you've already approved the stage my project is at and you're okay with that. The other thing that I just wanted some quick information from is for issuing a notice of intent to like execute my project in the Westbrook Trail area. Do I need to be the one who's issuing this notice of intent, or is that something that someone else can do? Because the documents-
You already have an informal permit from us,
Okay, so I don't.
so you don't need, either an RDA or a notice of intent. But you do need to send a detailed letter, which I sent it to Jennifer, like 3 things. You just need a detail of what exactly you're gonna do, in as much description as you can.
Mhm.
Where you're gonna do it, circle it on a map, and make sure you don't show anything going to the marsh. And who's gonna be supervising you, which is
Alright.
Jen. I presume. So just, write that down, put it in an email. You can either write it on a letter and scan it into an email, or just write it directly into the email and send it to those 2 people that were listed, Maria Gabriel, who's at, the Nature Conservancy,
Alright,
and Jesse, who's at the Fish and Wildlife.
perfect, okay.
And they will probably answer you and say, glad you're doing this, or something like that. Usually they don't even have any questions, but if they do, they'll write it back.
Alright, okay, that was all I really needed to know. And I appreciate you for, again, helping me through this part of my project. It's been very nice working with you all.
You're more than
You're
welcome.
really learning about paperwork bureaucracy, aren't you?
Do we need to, yeah, there's always.
He's growing up on that part.
Sure.
You can copy this.
I'm sure who signs that. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Okay, let's have a vote that I can sign on everybody's behalf.
Yeah.
For the,
I'll make a motion that Judy signs for all of us
proceeding of the
on our
project.
behalf.
second it. Aye.
Tom,
Yep.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, unanimous.
Now you just gotta make sure you sign the right one.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't sign wrong.
Project beneficiary box. Project beneficiary.
beneficiary.
It'll be next year before you can even start.
Well, hopefully it'll be a speedy.
Don't mind me
process.
asking, what grade you in?
I'm going to be in my junior year of high school.
Okay, Judy. Okay.
Yeah.
This is 16? So this is our. Yeah, but if you scan it, then you can just send it on and everybody will be able to read it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can keep the copy of the, the 2 pages I gave you, I don't know if it's called, but I don't need to hold on to that. I just need the signature sheet. Copy the signature sheet, put in the file then.
Probably be a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, I do that now.
I don't need a copy of the other, yeah, you just keep it in the file.
Yeah. And is that all? Just these 3 pages?
yep, that's it.
Okay.
Thank you. In fact, why don't you go down with her and then you. come
Yeah,
up
then you
with
can
it.
just leave,
That sounds good.
unless you wanna hang around.
Thank you and good luck.
Good luck, yeah.
Thank you.
This will be exciting to have. This section's gonna, if you weren't around when we talked about it, it's a new section that's gonna be going towards the other entrance that rarely gets used on, North Road.
Right.
But it can't go over the marsh, so you still have to cross through the marsh to get those distance. Okay. Yes, a couple people did benches for Final Pond.
I think that was the Girl Scout one that did that.
And they planted flowers
Cause I
too.
remember helping to have to build those benches, my sister wasn't. so.
All right, we've also had, the back lots at Kibbe Lane, the big, huge estate lots
Mhm.
are for sale, and Bonnie's had.
Which
quite-
ones?
At the back of Kibbe Lane, it's called Scantic Meadows. There were big lots at the end of the
Oh,
road.
oh,
there where the
oh,
road
okay,
was Supposed to be
They never
finished.
finished building that street yet.
Yeah, it never got finished, and it never got topped. And there's a lot of other issues. There's, water issues, and there's,
Wow.
yeah, wet basement issues. But we've had several people come by and ask about it. So she's been talking to people. We got the Chapin Road CR finally signed. It was a little complicated, but it got done. And we know that there's apparently a notice, an NOI, a butters notice out for 530 Glendale. So it looks like they're gonna go ahead with their solar, but we don't know that. They might be building 4 houses. or something.
Oh, that one, yeah. What is the NOI for it?
Well, we haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen it?
We got a notice of an abutters that are going out. That's all we know.
Oh,
And
If you
we-
remember, we approved, a year ago, the wetland and riverfront boundaries.
Yeah, the inlet.
But that abutters notice wouldn't just be us, that could be building planning committee too.
No,
right?
we just got a copy of it going out to the abutters saying it's coming to Concom, I think. Bonnie
that's going
heard
on.
about it, I didn't. And we haven't seen it, so I don't know what it says on it in terms of what's going on.
We have no idea.
Just something's going on there.
Okay.
And Lainey Wilder is coming on the 21st to the select board to talk again about the Forest Legacy project, because the select board kind of forgot what it is. And at the last meeting expressed doubts, which is odd because they've already signed the papers twice, but.
The lots at the end of South Road and Chapin, those big ones?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, Craig had serious concerns about, especially, the Morton property. I'm not quite sure why that one. And they wanted to get to know more about Opakam, because Opakam's gonna end up owning the other one. And so they were feeling anxious. So she's gonna come and talk to them, and I will try to go myself and take all our papers and stuff so they know what's going on.
Any
It
idea
was
when?
mostly Craig Rivers, wasn't it? The-
Yes,
Craig.
Any idea when?
next, the 21st.
21st?
And I'm not sure if she's zooming in or coming because she's farther away now. All right, we also received a letter from Juanita Markham on Howard Hill, telling us that some more stuff went on the road, and they're afraid that some mud will come down, and they wanted us to know it wasn't their fault. They didn't do it. So we are notified.
Yeah, she sent that a couple of weeks ago.
There are going to be some pond treatments at Great Horse this month. If they don't look good, what they do is they come out and they look at the ponds, and then if stuff's growing, then they treat them. If it looks fine, then they don't treat them. So it's just possible treatments. And that's it for now.
Good question. Wasn't Eversource supposed to start the gas project on Mill Road in August?
Yes,
I mean, are they?
I haven't heard a word
I'm not
from
trying
them.
to be a jerk about it, but are they playing the same game they did last year where they pushed it all the way up to November? And then the ground was frozen and all that, everything started washing into the Scantic all winter long. Are we gonna be doing that game again? Because we couldn't get the work done when they said they were going to? That's the only reason I said about the restriction on. I think we should start any road digging, even this water project that's coming up, if they're not done by September 1st. I mean, how else are you gonna have enough grass, stuff to stabilize the soil and make it through the winter? That's my
Yeah.
concern, watching everything fall apart. They started in October, nothing's gonna be going in
Oh,
November.
no, we didn't put that as a condition.
No, I
so
know we didn't, I'm
would
just
put
saying,
that
it's
to the
just
back.
something, to think about, if they start that time, I think we should really keep an eye on it for the
Yeah.
months,
I think we have
so it
to,
doesn't get washed in the mill pond.
we'll have to have folks driving by and checking it out.
I'm just putting it out there because they haven't.
Yeah, I
started
think you're
yet.
right. And we will try to, I
That's
do have a note on my orders of conditions list that I use to work from, saying, don't forget the roads and the sediment.
But it looks like it's a big project they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Or underneath that. Yeah.
That's the one with the horizontal. Yeah. That section at least is gonna be messy, I think.
And it's right where almost the front ends. All right.
Okay, there's also a new rule, which says that, RDAs can be published in, because people are having trouble publishing them now that all the small newspapers are falling apart. It says that they can be published in online, sources, not to analyze just the RDAs.
So,
Um,
I guess my question is, is the town website considered a good enough post, or does it have to be a
No, I think it's,
paper post?
well, here's the article. Here's the, letter.
It just came in today, I really haven't, had much.
Where is it? Where did it go? It says,
Facebook now? Throw it out, just throw it out there, you know.
Yeah, right. It is public.
municipalities can work with their local online newspaper to electronically advertise RDA meetings at least 5 days in advance of the meeting, so long as you do not have a local wetlands bylaw ordinance that requires print publication. So it still has to go through newspaper, it's just an online newspaper.
Mass Live,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can ask like,
is the Republican online? Not the
That
Republican, not the, I know.
The Reminder.
The other, yeah, the Reminder, is that online?
I don't know, they do upload PDF copies of the
Yeah.
print paper, but
Yeah.
that's all but I don't think they have a
So why can't?
special
Yeah,
online.
both,
we can, it's just that we're not required to.
Oh,
Is the
I
scan-
see.
is
both the
So-
reminder
so if
and
you
the
look at all
Times
this here,
do a
the
PDF
reminder
load, so it's
yeah,
not
which has been happening all over.
an
It's
interactive.
And you would still have to publish it in the print one for it to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How does the Times,
just like the reminder, they come out the same day,
Yeah,
Thursday.
do we post in the Times?
We have on occasion.
yeah,
Yeah, we-
we've changed where we post several times because of cost and
Where's
because
the,
of.
well, I'm not wondering, I'm just saying, I don't, they post online, but I know Mass Live, makes the paper, everything.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
We can't post.
If we have an issue, we can just keep
Cindy
doing
has a
what we've been doing, but.
No,
you
no,
know.
that's fine, I was just trying to see
Cindy.
a quicker way for us to like.
Cindy's trying to talk.
Send it off and.
Oh,
Cindy,
Hi, can you hear me?
yes,
Yep.
Okay, so we can't post on Mass Live because Mass Live charges for a subscription. So that would be prohibitive. So we can't post there. I can find out from the Times if they have an online only, because the PDF that they do publish is the PDF of the paid RDAs and the
Yeah.
paid notices, which that we do publish through the Times. So
so
we
for
can find
now,
out.
until we lose a newspaper, we can just keep doing what we're doing.
What is,
Right, exactly. I mean, that's,
just out of curiosity, the Mass Live.
Mhm.
Is the cost for the subscription for that? So we can post on it.
no, we
Now,
we can't post on it because our users would have to pay
Each user has to pay.
to look, to
Publish
view it. You get like 6 free articles and then they want you to get the subscription.
Just buy a subscription.
Yeah, because everybody.
Yeah.
did.
We don't have the problem now, we're just discussing in case one of those papers folded and we have
What
a problem.
Okay,
Okay,
just checking.
anybody else have anything they need to bring up?
Yeah, I do. We got a new abutters list for, 530 Glendale Road, the solar project.
Oh, I
No, we just
brought it
talked-
up while you were
talked about
gone.
Oh, you did, I was downstairs.
Yeah, we weren't
But
sure.
do you know anything more about that? I don't know. anything.
No, and the abutters list was just that. There was nothing on
No
there.
data, it's
The,
just,
planning board, they got a list of abutters as well. The abutters list that was sent out, but nothing that.
so it's just a address data list, nothing
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, so we know if something comes to us, we'll give it to Gina and Gina will pass it around or we'll send it to our, whatever list we have.
It'll be a year in November, since we
Yeah.
closed down on that.
So, but we haven't heard any details at all.
Can't believe it's not even here.
Yeah,
I can't believe they're gonna try and do it on that raggedy space, but.
Well, the only other piece I can see them discussing, they did say they were gonna come back about that. So,
Right.
remember,
Mhm.
are they gonna try to, is that what the next piece is? Is they're gonna try to?
Been
come
awfully
back?
rainy.
But that's what I was gonna say, it's been pretty rainy, yeah.
I think you
Yeah.
have a hard time.
If it was
Yeah.
perennial and in drought,
I would not believe them if they said they found 4 dry days this year,
no.
Yeah.
so.
The other question I had, I wasn't here last meeting. Who's up for like their terms, or has that already been done? No.
Yeah, I don't know,
It's gotta be me, I feel like.
Well, I was wondering if it's me, I
Yeah.
thought maybe it was me, maybe, that's up, but the question.
Pam has the list.
Yeah.
She sent me a thing asking if I wanted to come back up again, and I said, well, I was supposed to be ending this year, but when they actually sent me the certificate, it went to next year, so I just been working on that as a premise, and she said, fine.
Well,
So-
the only thing I was gonna say is that I don't know if there's other people that are interested. But obviously I'm not able to make it to as many or as many meetings anymore. If someone was more interested in being a regular member, I would have no problem stepping down to be an associate member.
Well, we don't have our 7.
But if we don't have anybody yet, I'm just saying, I won't pull up a seat. If
Yeah,
you find someone that's interested,
Yeah.
I will have no problem stepping down to the associate member. for
That's
someone that could be here.
yeah,
if we find some members, it would be great. I would like eventually to bring up a new resolution and raise the total possible number to like 10. So that we can do that, we can just have to do it as a town. Otherwise, we limit it to 7, so.
How many losing ball from the next one? Yeah. Or you
June
Retire.
June of 24.
retired from this? Yeah. You get a pension.
Yeah.
Maybe I should hang on.
Our pension will probably be just about as good as our salary.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if everything works out, there's gonna be a principal sitting here, so,
And administrator.
a full administrator, paid
conservation.
agent
a-
and slash
administrator.
wetland.
So that person will be the chair then, I guess? Is
Yeah.
that how that works?
All the details are still getting worked out though, so, with. Is it weird?
No, they want to,
Granby?
go in with
Granby.
Granby.
Granby, yeah. The distance, but that's the only town they could found that was in the same situation we were.
And so 35-hour a week job.
So, I'm just asking this, for clarity, so an employee of the town can be the chair of a committee, I'm not sure.
We could all be paid if they wanted to. There's no requirement that it be volunteer. Usually it's just a few staff. Very often it's the clerk and the chair, or the clerk and a conservation agent, and somebody else is voted chair. But it's however you set it up.
Yeah, it could be somebody else would be chair, but that person would be doing.
They could agree.
Most-
upon
Well,
it.
I'm assuming that person, having someone do all the paperwork, do all that stuff, do
Yeah. and
your
then-
everyday stuff, but I just wasn't sure.
yeah.
I'm just saying, like, when you go to the water department or something like that, usually the chair is the,
Right,
the everyday person.
yeah,
that's on
the
there.
committee could,
But I don't know.
Yeah.
I
if
just
it was me, I would think that it'd be better to have the chair be a separate person, because they're less likely to
Yeah.
be so
Yeah.
busy. Not more.
And the chair needs or the agent needs a degree in wetland science.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's a lot involved to the, program. So there we go.
Yeah, that qualifies. So you could be the agent.
I'm molecular biology, and
It'll probably be not,
Close enough, I mean,
similar.
it'd probably be not like Bob Marco. Bob does everything, but he still reports to the select board.
well,
So we would have an agent who was doing most of it, but who report to.
I'm just, that was my like thing, it's just the chairs, they report themselves.
Yeah.
You know, it's-
And I don't even know what the salary is gonna be. They're gonna combine a couple of salaries to try and come up with an opinion. So,
No, well,
What's
the
that?
salary that they're posting is $30 an hour.
The 35 hours split between the two towns.
my understanding is some little piece of it would essentially.
20 here, I think, and 15 and 20 here and 15 in Granby, if I remember right.
Yeah, which isn't enough.
No.
Unless they're very.
Time
good
bond sounds like
assistant.
they pay more than that.
Well, they may not get, they may,
Private.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys just saw, yes, quoted the largest
Yeah.
union contract.
Yeah,
And it's
I think they're gonna have a very hard time finding somebody.
$70,000.
So can I find a motion for,
Yeah.
close?
Make a motion to, close the meeting.
All in favor?
Well, Tom, close?
Yeah, no, just quick question. You were gonna set a date for a site walk that I saw an
Thank you.
email about today.
We have two site walks, one,
Oh, yeah.
on Chapin Road.
I'm losing connection.
Any particular day that you're gonna be available?
That's the
in
one, yeah.
next Few weeks?
I'll be home on Saturday, so anytime after that, it's fine.
Okay, one's on Chapin Road, just to look to the right of the driveway and see how much wetlands is there. And then it matches the map, which I can send around. The other is on Sessions Drive, and it's the classic, want to cut 2 trees down in the riverside. Issue, so they just need a permit to
And
cut
this
the
will be
trees.
before next meeting, right?
Yes, before the next meeting. So, Bonnie will send around, but take a couple of days and we'll try to see.
Or they could pick it right now.
Thursday, September 14th.
September 14th?
Is that okay? Should be fine.
Great.
The only reason I say that, I had dentist appointment. so-
Thursday, September 14th?
Hold on.
Which one first, Sessions or?
Which street's closer?
We'll probably do Chapin first, because
Yeah.
that's dark, that Sessions area near me is.
Yeah, those are okay for me. So that date is okay.
5 o'clock?
Sure.
All
And
right,
then 5:30.
and then 5:30, and Bonnie will set
What's
it up.
what's the address?
I will give it to you. I left it downstairs.
I think it's 33.
And we'll do 5 o'clock. For that. And
I will send that out tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And the other will be 5:30, I guess.
Yeah, on Sessions.
I bet it won't even take that much time. We'll probably do it the other house at 5:15. They're pretty straightforward ones. Okay, thank you, Tom.
All righty.
Meeting is adjourned.
Okay.